this is your live continuing coverage from Be Terrific of InfoComm 2016, the content creation, live streaming, and VR pavilion here in the Las Vegas Convention Center. You're the Terrifics. You make Be Terrific special. This is the last day, and we're getting a little punchy, having a little bit of fun, and a little bit of fatigue setting in for sure, but it's a great show. If you haven't attended, you need to become an attendee next year. And what we wanted to show you this year was what it's all about and give you a lot of experience at home. So that's what we're doing. So this product from Data Video is called the KMU100. And it takes a 4K video signal and allows you to turn into 4 1080 outputs. And you can make those 1080 outputs anywhere on the screen from the video signal. And they can overlap even. And you then plug that into a switcher, and now you've got 4 outputs. We've taken 2 4K signals, 2 different cameras, and now we have 8 inputs into a video switcher, outputs of the KMU100. And so that's how we're doing this. And that's why this is called Stage 2. The cameras are in different positions. That's the confusing part. And but it's look how well it's working. So basically, when you look at this wide shot, this is one camera. When you look at the single shot that Kevin just had up there, that's also the same exact camera. Do it again, Kevin. Single shot, same camera, wide shot, same camera. Now if you want a shot of these two guys, you can do that too. Look at that. There's Eric.
There's me.
Yeah, and there's Craig. That's 4 shots, one
camera.
And look how good it looks. It looks so
great,
good.
Yeah, because it's obviously 4K has the 4 times the resolution of HD, so there's no reason why you can't take the pixels of that 4K and make 4 1080 shots from it.
Exactly. Very, very cool. And this is a product that's shipping now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, sorry.
I mean, I'm sorry. That's my bad. It's not shipping yet.
It's not shipping
but
yet.
But it's available for pre-order?
This is a prototype. In fact, this whole content creation stage is the first time KMU100 has actually been in an actual production. Of course, we've done it in-house and tested it and all that, but this is a real production.
So wait a minute. So we've got the first KMU
100
use,
and
the first Ozo
interview ever done.
The
first Nokia Ozo interview ever done.
So now we're
all the cutting technology is right here. Come to this stage and learn about it.
You got it.
That's it.
And you guys figured out how to take 4K and give it a practical use for live production.
Exactly. I mean, there's 100 different reasons why that's an advantage. There's some disadvantages as well. And that's why you also have some PTZ cameras here.
Sure.
And you can mix and match a production like this. And maybe we'll talk about that next year.
Well, and we are mix and matching because here we're on stage 2, and let's show that the last input on stage 2 is a PTZ, one of your PTZs.
That's correct, that's right.
And it's one of the new PTZs, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, but let's show the PTZ in action. So we've actually got, instead of 8 inputs, we have 9 inputs. The 9th being the PTZ
and for those
directly
people
into the switcher.
that are brand new and don't know the acronym, a PTZ is a
pan, tilt, zoom.
Yeah. Right. So
and it's operated by one operator, up to 4 cameras with a joystick.
So there are no cameramen involved out here. So you're dealing with everything on the front of house, and everything's controlled from there.
Well, and while we were goofing off a little earlier, you talked about you have a new product coming out where instead of multiple cables coming out of the PTZ.
Well, actually, these 3 of these cameras are it's called PTC 150T. I know it's the T at the end is for HD-based-T. So it's HD-based-T technology that you're sending your video signal over a Cat6 cable. And power, and control,
right.
and tally.
So all you got to do is run one cable.
One cable. It's the only camera in the world.
Think about this from a standpoint of efficiency and affordability. So first of all, you can walk into any place, and instead of running, let's say you have 3 cameras, instead of running what before was 9 cables, you're running 3 cables, and you're all set up.
Right.
Additionally, you're traveling with less cabling. You can get Cat6 cables anywhere, and just about everybody can make them.
I was just going to say, you can get a bulk box of it.
They're very
do
cheap.
Your run in place.
A lot cheaper than SDI.
Here's the one better. When you're paying other people to run your cables for you, and you're paying per cable to run them, there's a big difference between running 9 and running 3.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, we're at InfoComm, and it's an integrator show. What the integrators are thinking, well, if I install one of these into a church or something where I have to get power to these cameras up in certain locations, I have to hire an electrician to get power to that camera. And they get the bill for that, and it's $13,000 and they have to punch holes in the walls and all that. Those are kind of things you don't think about when you can can just run a Cat 6 cable on the side of the wall. And
I want them for our studio because so here's a perfect example. We have a studio, and right now our cameras, and look, we're a startup, so everything has to be affordable. The most affordable cameras when we started were HDMI cameras, not SDI. HDMI runs into the problem of you can really only run it 50 to maybe 75 feet. That's pushing it. So when we run them from our control room through the ceiling to the cameras, we can't move the cameras.
Right.
We don't have any slack. They're really at the end of the cables. And so by being able to put in, we also have to run power to the cameras and all this other stuff. To be able to put in your new cameras, the PTC 150Ts, will run 3 cables, one to each camera. Now we could also run extra cables, or we could get these 300-foot Ethernet cables very inexpensively, or make our own, and we can leave a lot of slack, so we can move it around our entire studio. In addition to having one guy sit in the control room, not have to walk in to move the cameras, he can just operate them with a joystick.
now, power over Ethernet's not a new concept. There's a lot of people doing that.
But putting power over Ethernet together with camera control together with video in one cable.
And
That's
Telly.
unusual. But the other thing about power over Ethernet is a lot of times it's not enough power to run a professional camera like this.
Right.
You need 35 watts or so to do that, and ours will do that. You know, a lot of them will have just gets at the other end. You only got 8 watts, so it's not enough to run these cameras.
So it's very, very cool.
So that's another thing you forget about, and a lot of times they're just used to power a receiver or something like that, and not a full production camera.
And now we're also using your switchers. We've got the SE1200s that are hooked up to the KMU 100.
Yeah.
And very, very affordable.
And that's a new product too. The HS1200 is a new product.
Well, no, we've got the SE1200.
Oh, the SE1200.
Two of them hooked up to the KMU 100. Then we've got the HS1200 for the PTZs. We've got a lot going on.
That's right, yeah. So 2 separate switcher
configurations.
yeah.
So let's talk about the SE1200.
SE1200. It comes with the control panel, or you can get it separately for $499.
Okay.
So the whole solution is about $2,000 for a 6-input switcher. So the price points are amazing. And of course, you're switching the show with that, and you get 2 of those. That's 11 inputs for $4,000.
Right, like we have set up
That's
here.
like we have set up here. So
And then you've got the HS1200, which is a very mobile solution. It's a monitor in a clamshell case, and the bottom of the clamshell case is the SE1200, so the whole thing is called the HS1200.
and that's shipping next month. So we're really excited about it. We've got a lot of interest at the show for that.
You just
so,
fold it up and walk away.
yeah. And everything's included in it. You just plug in your cameras, your audio board, and
What's very interesting as we get into this mobile space of content creation and trying to figure out how to create content quickly, efficiently, and more affordably, we have a lot of young companies and new people doing video. We find that people want solutions that are easy to train people on. And your equipment is easy to train people on because it's very straightforward. You plug a cable into input 1, you hit input 1, it's on. You can teach somebody in 10 minutes. And that's why the guy from Queen's University in Canada, who is outfitting the medical school and wants to be able to have these brought to classrooms and have people who aren't professionals, aren't trained to use this, have a 10-minute crash course and be able to go switch cameras.
I don't know if I want somebody in medical school having a crash course.
Well, that's probably a good point, Eric.
well, you need really good quality cameras to do that. And these are production broadcast type quality
Right.
that you can have with these cameras, and zooming in with 30x zoom when you want to see something with detail.
Right, you're doing an optical zoom.
Yeah, an optical zoom. You need that for medical. We have a lot of people in the medical industry
Yeah.
buying our equipment for that purpose. So
That's I think the other day we went up your nose to check what's inside, right?
wow.
Isn't
Do I have
that what we
something
did?
there?
We had to do a little exam. And we've got people in the audience who are watching, they're checking out the set, and they're all welcome to come into our control room and push buttons and learn more about the gear. That's part of what we're doing. We're educating everybody and telling them, what we're doing. Another part that's often overlooked of video production is instant replay, because it's often thought of as only for sports. And certainly it's a great application for sports, but it actually can be used for so many other things, especially all sorts of great commercials and all sorts of content. And people don't realize when they see a Burger King commercial and the burger flips through the air, that's slow motion. That's shot at a high frame rate and then played at regular speed. All sorts of food commercials, the lettuce going up. It's in everyday use. You see a slow dolly shot, family smiling for the Holiday Inn. And you see the hair flying. That is a slow motion shot. Well, you have a very affordable slow motion solution that works with live. It could also work with non-live that can help in live and non-live production for all this kind of content creation. And this is what I'm talking about, is people might not normally think of using a video replay system, but it's affordable, efficient, fast. You see on set what you're getting, and of course it works in a setup like this as well. So you got to think out of the box when you're creating content. And tell us a little bit about the video replay.
Well, that's the HDR10. It's a single channel replay box. But you can have each HDR10 you buy, you can have another channel. And we have a controller now, it's called the RMC 400, that will control up to 4. Yeah. And the advantage of that is you can actually, for a small sporting event, you start to think, okay, yeah, ESPN is going to have a very high-end solution for replay. But there's a lot of small colleges, even high school level sports. There's, we have horse racing events and MMA. We're getting calls from them. I mean, people that want to do a small stream show and they want to have a replay, but they don't want to spend a lot of money to do that.
It's even great for creating intros. It's great for cooking shows. It's great for all sorts of stuff. I mean, I don't know this 100%. I'm just thinking this. I would venture to bet that there are a couple of slow motion shots, high speed, played at regular speed, probably with a phantom flex in the opening of Dexter. Just the opening, the intro.
Not phantom.
Not
Shot film.
Well, it's all done in post.
Shot
though.
film.
No, it's not done in post.
It's not?
No.
No, we shot that. That all
Film,
was shot in
film.
Yeah,
That's
that all
what
was
you
shot
said.
in film.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
the opening's all shot film.
Okay. So, but it is there
Well,
are.
and like, the first seasons 1 and 2, if we had a need for high speed, we actually shot film for that because we were shooting F900s,
Okay.
which don't do high speed.
Right.
And then we went to the F23 and we can get 60 frames out of it, which
Right.
was enough for the show.
Very cool. There you go.
Well, again, we have a lot of integrators at Infocom that have been coming by the booth, and they're looking for, they don't want to spend a broadcast system that costs $20,000, $30,000, right?
Yeah.
They're looking I need something maybe $3,000 to $5,000 range.
Right.
And that's what we have. We have
Okay.
with our HDR10 and our controller that goes with it. They can plug that into any workflow. It doesn't have to be our switchers. It can be any other one of our competitors. Of course, we hope you look into our solutions. But that workflow can go right inside into an existing workflow and have replay, right, for any type of an event. Football, of course, is coming up.
Yeah.
And we're highly promoting that.
See, he keeps bringing it back to sports. They already know for sports.
No,
I'm
but
talking
this is
about for other people.
Yeah.
But the thing is no, I mean, you can do a sports broadcast now from a local, you could do a squirts team.
Well, there's
There's
bowling
bowling
right
right
here,
behind
right?
us, yeah.
I'm talking about small events like
Yeah.
that. We're not thinking a huge.
Sure, I got you.
Broadcast type
and
shows.
How about? Okay, I got one.
And more stuff-
How about
more-
this? You want to do it? You ready? How about the next video gaming tournament we do with ETG, the Elite Tournament Gaming? We roll out video replay so that when when somebody makes an amazing move, we can replay the video game footage.
and then you can see the excitement on the guy's face when he wins $100,000 or whatever.
It's
something like that.
it's a big prize pool. I don't know the
Yeah,
exact
so
number.
they replay that too, the reaction of the players,
Right.
Of course.
right? So that would be an example
you
right
could do
there.
a replay of somebody folding in poker.
Right.
And you
in slow-mo.
and the whole
Right. I got that.
and the content you're creating is so much richer, right?
Right.
It's more interesting to the viewer when you can show back something.
Well,
a lot of viewers are expecting that now.
They actually say that that's when sports on TV became interesting, is when you were able to have video replay, because people could go back and look at it, and it helped tell the story, and it allowed them to create all these packages.
Look at the proliferation of the DVR in the household. So you miss the line on TV and you can wind it back 15
I know, it's
seconds.
amazing.
Yeah.
Because maybe you were laughing, or maybe somebody came in and interrupted you.
Right.
Or maybe the
exactly.
phone rang.
But we're starting to see the emergence now of IP broadcasting, and manufacturers are starting to embrace it. Data Video is doing it. JVC came out with a whole bunch of stuff at NEB, where they're broadcasting straight to the net. So we're seeing more access for your kids' little league games. And you want to be the hero and broadcast your kids' little league games, and you can now do that.
You're right.
What?
I'm just getting back to this setup with the KMU 100. Look how good this looks. I'm just so impressed. When Craig approached me about this, he flew out to the studio, and we did a little test video, and but first we had to test it. So when he got off the plane, we both said, is this going to work? And if it doesn't work, Craig said, I'll pack my stuff up and go. It's okay. And
I'll take my ball and go home.
But we had never used it, and we used it that night. It was a lot of like it was a prototype.
It's a
lot-
prototype. It still is a
It
prototype.
was a lot of behind the scenes. It was a lot of us like trial and error, and we need to maybe rent this piece of equipment, and running around to get stuff. And it probably took about 16 hours to put it together the first time. Obviously, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's plug and play now. I
It's
mean, this
plug
was a
and play now,
very
yeah.
very early prototype. And when we did it, we didn't. We looked at it, but we didn't necessarily get to really look at it because it was all turning it around. We were tired. And when I'm looking at it now, especially in a real environment,
Yeah.
like you said, this is the first time it's ever been done in a real workflow live,
Yeah.
not in your little test lab. And I look at it, and I'm looking at how good this is, and I had all sorts of concerns about, look, I'm on an angle, I'm not straight onto the shot, and go to the single shot on me, and look at that. Look how good that looks, and then go to Eric, and it still works. So I had concerns about that. I had concerns about cropping the image in and doing all these things, and we had talked about that, and you didn't know either. You said, okay, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm told it's
No.
going to, and look, I'm just blown away. I'm sorry, I
Well,
had to take attention.
cropping in on a 4K image, to 1080, that's kind of a no-brainer, especially when you're outputting at 1080.
But it doesn't look how close it is to you. It's cropping in further than just a crop. You could go in 4 times, right? So it's closer than 4 times to you from that wide shot. Go to the wide shot again. It's closer than 4 times to you. Go to his single shot. My single shot. It's closer than 4 times to me.
Well, what size bounding boxes
Okay,
are we
go
using?
closer. Hold on. Somebody
What size
can.
bounding boxes are we using?
I don't know what you're talking about. What's a bounding box?
A bounding box? That's the frame.
Well, what's cool about it is
I don't-
it does. You can use.
I have 1920 by 1080. That'd be the bounding box.
Oh, what's the boundary you're saying?
don't worry about it.
It'll let you make it smaller. Miguel's going to do this.
Okay,
I-
you can actually zoom in closer,
Right,
of course,
yeah.
but then you're going to get in. Fewer pixels to work for.
Right,
It's going to start getting
exactly.
soft.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Let's see how close we can get.
Well, you can, but then you.
Okay,
you
we know
can.
that. We know
and,
that.
and one of the features we're looking at is actually to warn you.
Right.
If you get past your
Yes,
720
which
spec.
we talked about that night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get down to 480 and you're looking at standard definition, of course you can do that.
You can
Right.
also have it make automatic moves. You can have it do that zoom, and then you
Yeah,
can
you
tell
get
it to
some-
stop when it gets to,
Right.
the
Right.
warning
And
point.
then there's we're also going to have some preloaded
Buttons.
pan tilt zoom buttons that you
Right.
can push and preset them.
Excellent.
So
Some
Very
preloaded
cool.
moves.
Miguel, how close can we get? He's trying. Hold on, they're working. I told you, I'm going to give them a lot of
well,
work.
they took time up to set up these shots.
I
So
know.
I don't know if you want to ruin one of the shots. Okay.
It's the end of the thing. Do we not want to
Okay.
ruin the interview?
No, okay.
I mean, in the break, they can fix it.
Okay.
We got a lot of people in our control room
Oh,
now,
yeah.
which is wonderful
That's
to
great.
see. Yeah, they're all getting a lesson, and they're all getting a hands-on experience, which is the point of all
Yeah.
this. What do you think of the pavilion, Craig? You thought I was crazy to do this.
No, I didn't. I
you
actually-
saw the vision.
I
You
saw
didn't
it.
think I was going to be able
Because
to pull it
our
off.
products really are, that's what we're all about. We're about ease of use, and we want people to touch our products and feel them and how it works. And that's our advantage. That's one of our selling features. So when you told me about it, I jumped right on. I
But
didn't
you
even
did think it
consider
was a very ambitious project, and you didn't know if
Well,
I would necessarily be able to pull
You're
it
an
all
ambitious
off.
guy,
Yeah.
so
But I mean, what do you think? The end result is, I mean,
No, it's perfect. The only downside is
Yeah.
that they put us back here. because
Right.
This is kind of a last minute.
So, big news. We're going to
pavilion.
move the location next year.
That's great.
Make it
In
bigger,
the middle of the hall.
middle of the hall.
And I asked the guy where your space was going to be, and I put our booth right by it. So
Excellent.
next year will be.
You'll be able to
video
just
in here
say,
will be really tight in.
hey,
so.
just go over there,
Yeah.
come over here. That's excellent. All right, is that the closest we're getting? Can we get a close shot? Are you still working on it, Miguel? Somebody just give me a nod.
There you go. That's closer.
Wow, that is closer. There
More
you go.
closer, yeah.
And that still looks good. And by the way, there's nobody focusing these cameras, refocusing these
No.
cameras. That's the original focus that they got for the wide
Mm-hmm.
shot. That's the other thing. So literally, this camera is hanging here. Nobody's touched it since they originally focused it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's
One guy goes into a hotel ballroom. He drops down the camera. He sets up the KMU in 10 minutes. He sets up, it's in a rack with a video switcher, so they're already like together. He just puts in the one feed from the camera. He has a monitor in there, and he has the little controller, and he lines up the camera angles, and then he switches the show. See, it's perfect for that. And hotel ballrooms, for instance, they go, okay, we'll sell you a single camera package. Anything over that, we have to bring in an AV solution. We have to recommend you to somebody. Now they can make more money. If you want a full-on multi-camera broadcast, then they have to bring somebody in. But now they can do a lot of that work by themselves for a panel, for a dais, for all that stuff, and make more money and save the client money, and then recommend when they want like
And
fuller
reduce their work time.
Right.
Yeah, especially labor can obviously be a big expense in your production, of course.
Not that we want to
especially-
see jobs eliminated, but it's a real.
You got to be
expense.
competitive in this today's
Right.
world, right?
Right.
So,
Thank you so much for being part of the pavilion. Thank you so much for seeing the vision, and thank you for being on it and for making really cool products that we get to innovate with. And I love that we get to see it first and try first. Again, 2 firsts here. The KMU is the first time it's ever been used in a live workflow,
yes.
And the Ozo.
and the Ozo. We did the first
Wow.
ever Ozo
360.
interview
We did a first 360 interview
360
with 4
interview.
people talking.
in 3D 360.
In 3D 60.
Yep.
360.
360.
3D 360. So there's 3 dimensions to
360D.
it. 360D.
Wow.
3D 60.
3D 60. We're gonna have to come up with a term that's
Yeah.
not like 3D 360.
Yeah.
360 3D. That doesn't work.
We'll have some first for you next year too.
I can't
promise.
wait.
Cool.
We're always coming up with new ideas, and
Then you'll be able to win another Most Terrific.
I look forward to it.
Excellent. We'll be back with a whole lot more right after this. Stay with us.